I'm riding my bike in the sunshine. Time to get some good miles done. Okay, well, I'm on a mission, and that mission is to do 100 miles this evening. But yeah, I literally just want to bimble around, get some miles under the bike's belt. This torque is just, oh, so moorish. It's bloody lovely. Oh, I'm so grateful for the, well, I'm just so pleased about the hydraulic clutch compared to the S1000 with its relatively stiff cable clutch that it had. Riding very slowly is a doddle on this bike. You use the clutch to stick into the gears. Oh, it just goes into the next gear so easily. You could argue that there's a little bit of slop in the gear lever. It feels quite soft. There is a nice snick when you change gear, but the actual whole action of the gear lever changing gear is quite long, or relatively long. Not hugely long, but I would like it a bit more of a shorter, sporty action. But it isn't, so I'll have to suck it up. Oh, so nice. Not to have to worry about oiling the chain. Not to be riding along and thinking, oh, I meant to oil the chain last night. That's 1,500 miles now. That's me. That's what I'm like. However, there are some scare stories floating about BMW shaft drive motorcycles, and they involve the Driveshaft. And I think I might get this wrong now, the technology, because I'm riding and I've not got my full attention to it, but I think I got two universal joints at either end of the drive shaft, or the cardan shaft. And there's been stories of bikes with way less than 10,000 miles on the bike and with less than 3 years of age having seized or rusted drive shaft gears. That's horrendous. Inspecting these gears and lubricating them is not a service item. They're apparently supposed to last a lifetime, but they don't. So yeah, when I get the service done, I'm going to be requesting that this drive shaft is inspected and lubricated. Even if ultimately I don't end up owning the bike, because let's be honest, it's a PCP deal I'm on. I'm renting the bike. It's not mine. It may never be mine, this bike. However, if it becomes mine, if it ends up being mine, if I do buy it at the end of the term, I want to know that this drive shaft was inspected and looked after. Right, let's have some fun up here, shall we? Oh, this acceleration. Oh, I love it. One thing I've got to tell you though, these mirrors vibrate like hell. Not all the time, Got to spend a bit more time sussing it out. Seems to be when you get hard on the throttle and to accelerate, when you hear the engine pulling, that's when the mirrors seem to vibrate. When you're on a constant throttle, they don't. But I've got to suss out a lot more. Oh, will I ever get used to that? I don't know. It is only early days, but just hanging in there, just doing nothing at just under 4,000 RPM. Then you open the throttle. Oh, it just flies forward. Absolutely love that. Cool. That's recording. Oh, the suspension, man. Still in road mode on the ESA, electronic suspension. I'm getting a feel for it, and it just soaks up irregularities and crap in the road basically so nicely most of the time. It is a joy. So obviously this is a heavier bike than the S1000. Softer suspension settings, and yeah, I know I'm getting on a bit, and it's just more comfortable. But more comfort combined with the ability to still get a real wriggle on if you want to, that just suits me to a T. Oh, that feels nice. That feels so stable. That's nice. That is nice, because the S1000, as I mentioned, maybe mentioned before. Well, I've mentioned it before. You might not have heard me say it before, because this might be the first time you've seen one of my videos. And if it is, hello, welcome, hiya. This is my first kind of decent ride on my new R1250R. I was just about to compare it to my S1000, and the thing that strikes me is the S1000 always sounded busy. Short stroke, 1000cc, 4-cylinder, 16 valve engine. Always sounded busy even when you were going slow, and it was just aggravating. I never really got the hang of it. Well, I never really got used to it, the noise. But this is so much lower revving. But still accelerates like nobody's business. And that is a good thing in my book. Partly because of the suspension, I'm sure. Partly because of just the sheer weight of this bike. It's a bit of a unit. But it's just smoothing the road out. The S1000 always felt busy, even on the softer electronic suspension option. Again, you would expect that. It's a sports bike, sports naked, not supposed to be soft. But the trade-off is, in the UK, most of the roads are crap and bumpy and lumpy. You don't get smooth roads very often, and it just you always felt all those little bumps. And frankly, I'm more insulated on this bike. But it's not a wallowy ride, it's not a soft ride. It's controlled. Absolutely love the way it picks up speed through the with the quick shifter. Effortless acceleration. It literally sounds like it's not trying. I love that. On a smooth bit of road like this one, the bike feels like it's just floating. It feels very smooth. Not floating as in it feels wallowy, just gliding along the road. It's lovely. Right, what you got, bike? Yeah, this feels so confident. I can't wait to get it run in, let's put it that way. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, for the most part, I've got to say, this is the suspension is just handling these local crappy roads very well. I can only imagine a GS with longer travel suspension would feel even better. So I've got to admit, it's not just the engine that I love and the chassis that I'm impressed with. It's the electronics, it's the mod cons. I mean, can you picture it? Cruise control, and I can go up the box while I'm in cruise control. That's just and accelerate or slow down with my left hand on the cruise control button. And you'll use it now and again, 2% of the time in your bike ownership, but when you use it, it's there when you need it. That's what's good about the bike. It's got so many features, you can rely on them when required. One thing I haven't commented on or ride is the sound of the bike. Not been able to hear it much, to be honest with you, with the wind noise and my earplugs. Always wear earplugs. Well, I've not paid attention to it, let's put it that way. I've not been listening out for it. I'll listen out for it on the next bit of the ride and see if it stands out or not. Yeah, the bike I test rode back in 2019 had the Akrapovic N-Can, and yeah, it was quite a bit noisier than this, but not too noisy, which is why I think I will be investing in an N-Can before I can actually afford it. Oh, so nice not to be constantly kind of being bounced around. The S1000 was a fidgety ride. Again, can't blame it for that, but it just was on roads like this. And this is just, it's calmer, and it means you can concentrate more on the road and concentrate less on what the bike's doing underneath you or how it's misbehaving. This is not the fastest thing on the road by some margin, but for real roads, for real road riding, it's bloody good. What are we doing on miles per gallon? Oh, that's a shame. I pushed up thinking I could change the trip computer options at the top, but pushing up just takes you out of sport display. I'm still doing 51 miles per gallon, or 48 actually, since I filled up the tank. I've been going for 2 hours I think on the bike, and it thinks I'm due a cup of tea. I cannot argue with that. I think I am due a cup of tea. This is so much fun. In a way, I'm kind of glad I'm just still running the bike in, because you just don't have to use that many revs to have a lot of fun. And you know, like most people, you end up not riding like this once you run the bike in. You just use more revs naturally. Did I make the right decision chopping in the S1000R? So far, oh yes, absolutely. It's just more my cup of tea. I'm British, I like my tea. Right, 5 miles until the target. I didn't think I'd do it, 'cause I'm pretty damn cold now, but let's push on. It's not far to go. I'm a bit surprised that I haven't got the local roads speed coming up on the bike. That might mean that the phone and the app are not connected. The phone and the bike are not connected, sorry. So I might not have recorded this ride. That would be a shame. What I've noticed is that I'm accelerating, and it feels like I'm accelerating over some very rough ground when I'm then over. I've just realised it's a traction control actually thinking, nope, we're having a bit too much fun here. And I have read that complaint that even in dynamic mode or dynamic pro, that the traction control is a bit too aggressive. Surely I'm just in the middle of nowhere now. Well, I can't be in the middle of nowhere, there's a load of cars here. So imagine there's a way down here to somewhere. Did it! I did it! Woohoo! 100 miles tonight. Absolutely love it. I know that's you know, nothing to a lot of people, 100 miles. But a sneaky 100 miles after work, not bad at all. In this 40 limit in 4th gear, just over about 2,500 RPM, smooth as anything. Just the kind of relaxation you want when you've just been out for a buzz. I am glad I wore my off-season gloves, thicker gloves, because oh my god, I got heated grips and I've not even used them. There's me getting cold and I forgot I got heated grips. Oh, what a numpty. Oh, the heated grips. Where have you been all my ride? So yeah, in summary, although it's probably too dark to see me and to see where I'm going, but in summary, I've had a great ride. Getting to use the bike, getting to learn the bike a bit, and it's so far so good. I'm not saying the bike is perfect. Nothing's perfect, but thus far, I'm very, very pleased with my decision. Yeah, what did I learn about the bike? Apart from the fact that I really want to run it in fast, the torque, the power delivery in the revs that I can use, so good. Oh yeah, what I'm going to do here today is turn off traction control. But I'm not sure which one's traction and which one's ABS. Can't tell. I think back brake is still got ABS, so I think ABS is still on. But I don't know. ABS cannot be disabled on the 2021 model. Ah, there you go then. So yes, I definitely have turned off traction control. Why is that? Well, to really get used to the bike, I think I need to know what it's like without electronics interfering, because I understand that even in dynamic mode, the traction control is quite intrusive and cuts power before perhaps it really needs to. I won't be totally ham-fisted about it. I'm not going to whack the throttle open in like second gear, then over to try and push my luck, but I just want to know what the bike is really like. What I might actually do is put it in road mode so the throttle response is a little softened. Power's not reduced, just takes a little bit more twisting of the throttle to get the same sort of forward motion. So I'll give that a go and see what it's like. If I get any scares, then I'll consider turning it back on, or I'll learn my lesson and ride accordingly. I'm glad the traction control light isn't actually switched, isn't flashing at me, sorry. It's just a light that just stays on. Be a bit annoying if it was flashing at me all the time. Ooh, haven't tried that yet. I don't know what the speed of the bike is when I'm idling in first gear. Famously, if you've watched any of my earlier videos, my S1000 idled at 9 miles an hour, which is quite a speed when you're trying to go slowly, like in stop-start traffic. They got the ride safely signs up already. It's only April. Some of us need them, including me. I'm trying to suss out whether there's any point buying the BMW Sport Screen, which costs an awful lot of money. But what I'm noticing is, in my natural riding position, my crash helmet, there's a fair bit of wind noise hitting my crash helmet. Not a lot of buffeting. I don't feel my helmet being knocked around, so to speak, but yeah, quite a bit of noise in the helmet, and when I duck my head down a little bit, the noise goes away. So I'm just wondering if the little sports screen that doesn't come up very high above the instruments will just lift the wind just a little bit, just enough to make it quieter around where my head is. When you scroll through the options at the top, there are so many of them. So many. Until you get used to how many pushes you need of the buttons to work out what you want. It's overwhelming. But anyway, 86 miles of range I got. So that'll do for today for sure. One reason why I've turned off traction control, apart from being, you know, a double hard bastard, is I think I felt it interfere yesterday. I thought I was at a fairly gentle angle, leant over, not hitting the throttle too hard, but it felt like the rear tyre was riding over a chain link fence. I was accelerating, or trying to, and it suddenly felt very harsh at the back, and I couldn't quite understand why it suddenly felt harsh and vibraty, like I was riding over something. And I think it was the traction control saying you're having too much fun, but I'm not sure. Which is why I want to ride without it, to get a good feel of the bike, and then I'll switch it on at some point, or switch it back on, because chances are it'll be on most of the time. I'm not a hero, I don't need traction control off. So I'm sure, yeah, like I said, most of the time it'll be switched on, but I just want to understand what the bike is like naturally, in terms of power delivery and grip. What I reckon might be a good combination is this road mode, for instance, so the throttle's not quite so sharp, and a pair of sticky tyres and no traction control. Now the tyres won't last long, not with the torque on this bike, but I reckon a grippy set of tyres, nice warm temperatures. Don't think I'll be needing much traction control. Famous last words. Oh yes, what speed can I do crawling along? Ah, look at that. 6 to 7 miles an hour. Yeah, turn by turn is nice, better than nothing. Until I get some power for my phone. I can use a phone sat nav, but I haven't got any external power for the phone yet. But I've got the facility for that somehow on the bike. I've got a DIN plug, a funky BMW connection on the bike, and then I can put a USB adapter thingy in there. We'll be laughing. Oh, this bike is so nice to ride slowly. It's not the only thing I'll do, but it does slow very nice. I think I remember saying that about the S1000 as well. And I also was impressed with how it accelerated the S1000 from low revs. But this is different. It's better. It's more acceleration, more torque, more sensation, more emotion. There's that as well. Oh, I just so enjoy it. It's just about the acceleration. And you know I'm running it in, so I can't even use, you know, half the revs pretty much. But what I have got available to me is just so enjoyable. Wow, this road is rough. This bike is awesome. It's just such a big bruiser. It just soaks it all up and keeps going. I've got no idea where I've been on this ride, but it's been bloody excellent. These roads, man, I don't recognise them. Most of the roads I've been on today I do not recognise at all, and they are awesome. Look at this. If I get onto trip 2, we'll find out how many miles I've done on this tank. I've done 133 miles on this tank. I think it said 50 miles of range left. It's not bad, is it? Oh, that was terrible. Oh, there's some crap on this road. Even this bike can't handle those potholes. Jesus. They were not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think there's 14 pushes through the trip computer settings at the top of the dash. 14. I just noticed something. I just realised something. I've just realised this bike's got shift cam, but I've barely used the hairy cam yet because I haven't had the revs. I totally forgot about the shift cam. Basically, I knew I had it, but I haven't been looking out for it. I haven't been thinking about it at all. So potentially there's a whole side of the bike I haven't even felt yet because I haven't run it in. Oh my god. There's another level. That is so exciting.